Hey, what's going on everybody? My name is Dr. Jordan Fairley with Kairos Training Culture and the Source Chiropractic franchise. And I have with me the ChiroLux blocks, which are my new favorite tool as they're a little bigger than some other blocks that I use, and I love to use them for very specific people in our office. So I'm gonna show how I use this from a biotensegrity approach, and also one of the awesome ways I do this for the thoracic cage. So one of the most common ways we like to use these is for creating more ease within somebody's spine. So if I have people who have a ton of compression, especially down to that L5, S1 region, I'll put the blocks underneath their hips, so right at the ASIS, which will rock the pelvis back into posterior pelvic tilt and put a lot less stress and strain onto their spine. So I can traction the legs here, so tractioning all the way from the ankles to the knees to the hips to create a little more space in this area. Then I'm gonna have them take a breath in as I traction the tailbone, the sacrum down, and hold that space. So that you're having a gapping of L5, S1 and taking a lot of that compression off of the musculature as well. So I could have somebody hang out like this for a while I then go work on somebody over here. So if you're working multiple tables, these are really good tools to create more ease within somebody's spine. If I have somebody with a hot disc, so they got a lot of inflammation, this is a great way to open things up, and it also just feels really, really good. These blocks are a little bit bigger than some others I've seen, so they're perfect for if somebody's really small frame, then I could just put it in a little ways, but we get a lot of really big people too. So they got maybe those extra folds and everything, you can put it all the way in there, and they're great for any size body type. So one of the things I notice is I'll position these in order to create more ease within their spine. So if I'm noticing they have a hyper-contracted hypertonicity of one QL muscle, I might move this block a little bit differently until I notice the tone of the musculature even out. If he's a really hyperlordotic, he's gonna have compression at L5, S1, and then often compression at the other transitional segment of the TL junction as well. And so I tend to notice that with Malcolm, and so I could put his pelvis and lower back in a really nice position here while I then go and adjust higher up. So this stays at ease while I then adjust higher here. If I didn't do that, if this was really contracted and tight, then I could adjust here, and because I have that I to S movement, it would cause a pulling effect of the sacrum. So this is a great way to create ease within the whole entire spine as I then adjust them. So you take a big breath in, I'll traction through, I to S, breathing out, great. Whew. Cleared through the system, and I didn't get that pull here, which is great. So this is gonna stay really nice and comfortable. I could also use and start to adjust him with these block pieces under there. So I could take a breath in, traction that sacrum down, creating space at L5, S1, and drop through. So I'm putting his pelvis into that neutral at ease position as I then would adjust him. So here, and open up. So this is great for the low back and creating ease, while then also creating ease in other parts. Now I want to show you how I use this for the thoracics. Can I have you sit up at the end of the table? And I'll have you come right over here. So I tend to use this for creating extension in the thoracic spine. So we get tons of people who have a lot of flexion or hyper kyphosis into the middle part of the back, and so they get all this tension pattern. Their chest is sunken. We're putting a lot of compression onto the rib cage as well. And if we can open that up and create extension in the spine, it'll have an immediate response where everything starts to create a lot more relaxation and ease. And so I will have people cross their arms, and I'll start to notice where do they have that restriction and extension. So if he sticks his chest forward, right, I'll guide the vertebra forward, now back, going a vertebra above that, and this way, and I can lift up and fulcrum with his elbows as well, another vertebra and up. So right here, he gets really locked up. He's not going into extension. So that's where I'm going to be adjusting him. So I'm gonna draw an imaginary line, put the block here, and I'm gonna line this vertebra up with the end of the ChiroLux block. I'm gonna put him into more of a kyphosis to open the spinous processes there. Put my hand right below that area. I can stabilize behind his neck so that he's not straining, and then right there you'll line it up. You can see the edge of the ChiroLux block right here. He's gonna then go back into extension, making sure that his neck is staying nice and at ease. I'm gonna have to take a breath in, reposition my body, breathing out, and then really making sure allow your shoulders to drop back. Oh, and adjust through there. Wow, come back up. Cool. So only thing that moved was that specific vertebra, and his fulcrum remained perfectly over this block. And so the wedge is perfect to have that nice downward slope of the rest of his spine, and then just adjusting over that lip. So this is one of the most effective ways I like to adjust thoracics, especially for people who are stuck, you know, in this position for long periods of time and they just can't get out of that, right? So it's got big chest opener. It takes tons of stress off of the rib cage, tons of stress off of the neck and upper thoracics. And this is something I'm doing every single day. So I'm making sure that I bring one of these to every single Kairos Training Culture camp, and also making sure that we have one of these in every single Source Chiropractic as they start to open up. So I highly encourage you get one too.